The sign says it's a medical arts, physical therapy, and they're growing corn. They got some spare time here. This is inside the medical, pediatric sports. And they also are gardeners. This water kind of drowns out the noise from the cars in this park across from the city hall. Might have to live off of choke cherries, compete with the birds while I'm waiting on the chip card. I think I'd like to try to park here tomorrow all day instead of using the library parking lot. So now I'm pretty much camping. Yeah, and I could take a left going out here. Alright, it feels like I had a more sensible breakfast out of the smaller bowl. Paid $1 for it, 99 cents at a thrift store. As compared to this big thing, wow, it is a mess inside. Shouldn't have showed that. I wonder if moisture is more of a factor for brake fluid leaking out of the slave cylinder. Could water draw the brake fluid out of pores at a faster rate? Because I was originally thinking maybe it's a fluctuation of summer and winter temperatures. Winter being the faster leaking. It hasn't really been that cold, I guess, the past few days. I expected it to leak faster, though, and it doesn't seem to have. Stop, collude, and listen. Russia's back with a whole new mission. Well, there's definitely something going on here. I kind of like to think of the food banks and soup kitchens as food spoil patrol. Like they're cops trying to prevent food from going to waste. I find it a little amusing when I walk into a bathroom and I hear a sniffling and coughing from the stall. I think people do that on purpose sometimes to let you know that they're in the stall. Alright, park rules state that dogs are supposed to be kept on leash. Okay, so what that means to the owner is you can walk them without a leash. In the graveyard, it says dogs are not allowed. So that means you have to keep your dog on a leash to the dog owners. Right, Walmart Detective Story 3. I come back here to this grilling section. I look behind these grilling planks. Look at this. Somebody stole light pulse and something else. Saw some female soft wool hiker. You can see the packaging. Oh, they left the Apple connection. They only wanted, so they used entirely a Android. Got the packaging. And what's this? This looks ripped up too. Digital movie? I think they stole a movie too. They stole 3 things? That's crazy. Oh wait, some of this is coming off of... okay. Reversible? So they stole something that's reversible too? From Realtree. Took the gloves, but didn't do anything with them. Strange behavior. This is most likely a female. Glowing pulse. I've never seen this flipbook thing before. It's focused on outdoor stuff. Kind of neat. You got Walmart Wi-Fi, so I could go to the app maybe and then scan. That's kind of neat. Behind this stadium reminds me of Rice Lake Stadium. Kind of a modern day setup, maybe for long-term benefits. Everything about it might be the same contractor. But this is focused on rodeo activity. Except the difference between here and Rice Lake is you don't see those kind of mountains anywhere near Rice Lake. Alright, have a little peek inside the kitchen. Let's see. You want to teach a kid how to do math, you bring them to the graveyard and figure out how old people are with these years that they were alive. Alden Janes was born in 1828 and died in 1890. How old was he when he died? So Mr. Trackwell lived from 1874 to 1934. How old was he when he died? John Patty was born in 1844 and died in 1904. How old was he when he died? Matthias Ham died in 1900 at the age of 63 years. What year was he born? Silas Ralston was born in 1838 and he was killed in 1878. How old was he when he was killed? So I'm pretty sick. I just am out of energy. So I'm just gonna take it easy and yeah. Wells Fargo. Alright, I'm gonna have to dismount here. This is a very busy, and there's still people on a Sunday evening. There's still people. A lot of people. There's a lot of people on Main Street, and it's only eateries that are open. So it's so busy they gotta build these temporary shelters. Surprised that bar doesn't have open windows. It is such a village in this Walmart parking lot overnight. And I watched some cops. They stopped at one vehicle, just one, and spent about 5 to 10 minutes and then left. But you got all these other vehicles. I just wonder why they chose one. That's what got me out of my car, is because I was watching the cops stop at one vehicle. I was wondering if they're going to do some kind of a sweep. They got a lot to sweep. Such a village. Found this thing laying in the Walmart parking lot around here, and I think I want to scan it. So I think I want to clean it up and put it in my computer. It's only 2 gigabytes. You can't put much information on. But yeah, just sitting out here, and it's like, what if they have a message for people on here? I could put a message on this through my camera, and then just leave it laying around for somebody to pick up. It could be like, look around, there's monsters everywhere, or I don't know, maybe record some cops or something, and then throw it on. This is a throwaway. This is like a message in the bottle in modern times. You can leave a message with your camera and then leave it somewhere for people to pick up. I believe I can clean it up, make it useful. 2 gigabytes. That's nothing I would want to keep. That would take, if I had to use 2 gigabytes every time, I'd have to be changing these things out every time I make a video. This happens with iTunes every time. Every time I click on it to end it, it takes like 5 minutes. Oh, it's been over 5 minutes. With all the beautiful women around here, I just keep thinking, I probably think at least once an hour, I keep thinking, boy, what a lucky guy that girl is making. Because there's just so many attractive women around here. It's incredible. So many lucky guys. Jealous. I want to say maybe it's a nursing school or teacher's school at this Montana university, but I've been through those type of schools, and not it's like not all the women are in great shape in some of those types of schools. It doesn't that's maybe not a factor for the state of their health. Alright, so some lady or man, I couldn't tell. I never approached them when they were doing this, but they painted this over the weekend, over the past 2 days. Looks like a female. It looks like an attractive female, at least. Julian? Oh wait, Julian? That could be a man. Once again, I couldn't tell by seeing him. Long hair, slender build, but strong. I just couldn't tell. But they did this over the weekend. This might be the only Walmart of its kind that actually has decent choices. Thanks to Wheat, Montana. Low sugar. So I had my breakfast out of the small bowl this morning instead of the large one, and I feel better from not overeating. So this is something a habit I want to keep up with. Just avoid this big bowl. Maybe clean it out and use it for just storing other things. I wonder if a technique for learning drumming is maybe standing on the top of a tall cliff and dropping rocks down and listening to the thud as they fall down. That'd be kind of a cool beat if you get maybe record it. Get kind of a rhythm at some points if the cliff face is jagged enough and you get enough hits. If that makes any sense. Whatever. The higher inflation goes up, the harder it is to make something free. I just wanted to take a little walk to City Hall, and somehow I passed it by like 5 blocks. I don't know the city that well, obviously. I'm not even sure if I'm coming up on it. Oh yeah, here it is, yeah. Maybe the biggest factor is public health. Alright, so maybe the biggest factor is public health. Maybe I should be learning more about what public health does. It's probably different in every city. I just don't, it's just amazing how healthy these people look. They just, young, old, doesn't matter. Everybody looks great. I mean, not everybody. There's most people, a higher percentage of people look great. In good shape, healthy. It really gives me confidence. Heading back to my car, and what do we got here? I could never live out of that. Loot posters for $1?
This was I got on there my account. So you know
Alright, it's very important that I find a bathroom for the evening. They got tiny parks around here, but no bathrooms. Tiny parks and businesses. I got a salivary gland on my right cheek that's all swelling up on me. Alright, they spent a fair amount of money on this. I think it's next to the high school. This green building. It says Virginia 14, Alder 23, Sheridan 34. We got a Rocky Mountain Antler museum here, with all the windows covered, of course. To buy or sell antlers, come to the shop next door to the right. This looks kind of old. Not sure what that was used for. This is the building, and then next door they got a bunch of vehicles. Maybe they're in the business. Maybe the business is open right now.